When the Kurukshetra war finally ends, the silence is heavy. The victors are left with a landscape of broken chariots and abandoned weapons, a physical record of what the conflict cost. Standing in this wreckage, Yudhishthira faces an existential crisis. He turns to his elders with two specific questions. What is the highest dharma, and where can a person find a refuge that actually lasts? The answer comes from Bhishma Pitamaha, who is nearing death in the Anushasana Parva of the Mahabharata. He points Yudhishthira toward a specific hymn, the Vishnu Sahasranama. This text follows a strict mathematical structure. It consists of exactly 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, distributed across 108 verses. Each name functions as a precise linguistic coordinate. These are technical designations meant to be unpacked and analyzed individually. To understand why Bhishma offered this as a solution, we have to deconstruct how the text is built and how its internal logic functions. Before engaging with a text of this scale, the practitioner uses the opening verse as a psychological reset. It invokes Lord Vishnu as Shuklam Baradaram, the one dressed in white. This specific imagery is used to shift the mind away from the clutter of daily life and into a state of clarity. The verse identifies its own purpose as Sarva Vigno Pashantaye, or the systematic removal of internal anxieties and external obstacles. Contrast the chaos of the battlefield we saw earlier with the stillness required here. The hymn demands a focused mental state before the first name is even spoken. The principle is simple. To grasp a map of the infinite, the mind must first be cleared of immediate earthly distractions. This brings us to the first verse, the foundation that defines the macro scale of reality. The verse starts with Vishwam, the universe itself, then expands outward into Vishnu, the entity that pervades every part of that interconnected grid. It then establishes control over time. Vashakara represents the sacrificial invocation, while Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu identifies the Lord of the past, present, and future. The cycle of life is mapped through three roles: Bhuta Krut, the creator; Bhuta Brut, the sustainer; and Bhuta Bhavana, the nourisher of all beings. Finally, these vast external concepts collapse inward to define Bhavo, or pure existence, and Bhutatma, the soul residing within all beings. By the end of the first verse, the hymn has already placed the entirety of time, creation, and individual existence within a single framework. After the 1,000 names are listed, the text concludes with the Phala Shruti. These verses move the hymn from a theoretical map into an active practice. The text specifies that chanting with devotion is what activates the specific effects described in the hymn. It promises internal changes for the practitioner, specifically focusing on increased positive thinking, mental steadiness, and the development of wisdom. There are also external protections mentioned, such as the ability to move past fear and anxiety to secure a sense of well-being. This addresses Yudhishthira's original post-war question: how can one find a refuge when the world around them has fallen apart? The hymn suggests that by mapping the infinite through these specific terms, the practitioner builds a mental framework designed to process and withstand human suffering.